Good evening to all. Hope my voice is audible and I shared the screen. I think screen is also visible to you. Okay, fine. Good evening. I will start the session. In this session, we are going to discuss about the concept procedure. So generally, this is also called as stored procedure. Before going to this stored procedure, first you need to know what is a procedure, why we need this procedure. For example, simple task coming to either C language, C++, Java, coming to any programming language. If some task is there, if you want to repeat the task multiple number of times, generally what you are doing, for example, I have some five statements are there. The five statements need to be written approximately six times in my program. Instead of writing the same set of code multiple number of times, I return that code in a function. Whenever I need, simply I call the function by passing some parameters, with passing, without passing, whatever it is. I called the function. The function is executed there. It produces the result. That means five statements, six times, total 30 times. Instead of 30 lines, I reduce it to 5 lines plus 5 times calling, 6 times calling, 5 plus 6, 11 times only. So you got it? Instead of repeating the same set of code multiple number of times, we are moving to the concept of functions. Exactly the similar fashion in SQL. In MySQL or Oracle, whatever it is, in SQL, you have the concept of stored procedure. Here of pre-compiled statements. Even though you don't know, ignore that one. Pre-compiled statement. What is the meaning of that one? Simply, I want to do some set of operations multiple. Instead of writing each and every time, I written as a procedure. Whenever I need, simply I call the procedure. Simply I call the procedure. Now, what is the advantage? The main advantage is it increase the performance of the your query. That means you are doing one application. Obviously, the performance of the application is increased. Once the performance is increased, in the sense we are getting the result in a less time. We are getting the result in less time. Okay, that is the definition. Procedure definition. Okay, now the first step is, what is the first step? How do we create a procedure in MySQL? Understand? Before that, I will explain some your understanding. I will explain C language. For example, C language void main. Just understand. Int a comma b comma c. Okay, for example, a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3. I am calling the function. Suppose c is equal to add of a comma b. Add of a comma b. Now we have one function is there, int add of into x comma into y. Here we are doing some return x plus y. A normal C program. What happened? Here, for example, this ad is required multiple number of times. For example, I read inside the ad, I have only single statement. Assume if the code is very large, this required multiple number of times. Instead of writing multiple number of times, I written separately. Here I need simply I call. Whenever I need, simply I call. This is this is procedure. Exactly. We are moving into MySQL. The first step is how to create a procedure. So the syntax is somewhat different. So try to understand the creation of procedure. The first statement is delimiter, ampersand and ampersand, delimiter. Okay. Now write the statement create, write the statement create followed by procedure, create followed by the keyword procedure. Now obviously what the next one, followed by the name of the procedure. So the previous example I written add, exactly, create procedure followed by name of the procedure. We have some optional modes are there. The modes are in, I will explain everything, no problem. In, out, or in out. So optional modes are there. If you written in square brackets, in the sense that is optional. That is optional. If you want, you can write name of the parameter. Parameter name. Here observe, this is the procedure name. Previously add consists of a comma b. That a comma b are called parameter. Parameter name followed by data type. So this is also optional. Minimum this thing, create procedure, name of the procedure. Okay. First step, within the procedure, start, begin. Use the keyword begin. Begin means the starting of the procedure. Starting of the procedure. Within the begin, first you are writing the declarations. That means whatever the input that is required, for example the variables that are needed, all those declarations are written. Once this declaration section is completed, then you are written executable sections, that is the query that are going to be executed. Anyway, even though it looks like difficult, everyone must and should understand. Why? Because in your original databases, the procedure plays very crucial role. Okay. Why? Because to improve the performance, declaration and execution, and that is completed. Here you are delimiter double ampersand. Now end with double ampersand. End with double ampersand. Okay, completed. If you want, you can write the delimiter also. Again the keyword. If you want, you can write the empty delimiter. Now see the syntax. See the syntax. Here in this syntax, we will discuss each and every one. What are the things? The first one, create is the keyword, procedure is the keyword. The first thing you need to know is name of the procedure. So each and every procedure we are given some name. Each and every procedure you are given some name. The name of the procedure, the name of the parameters, the data type of the parameters, the declaration section. So declaration means all the variables that are available, all the variables are declared, followed by executable section. Simply it represents the code, whatever the code we written for execution. Clear? Now what you need to know? You need to know these three terms. What is the meaning of in, out, and in out. Observe. Here I am calling a procedure. At the time of calling the procedure, if you pass the parameter, for example, add of a comma b, here a comma b are parameters when it is possible in mode. That means actually the in is the default mode. If you are not specified anything, in is the default mode. What is meaning that one? Simply the procedure takes one input parameter. The procedure takes one input parameter. So whenever we are calling the procedure, at the time of calling, you need to pass the value. I will explain with the example, don't worry. You need to call with some value, that is in. Exactly. What is out? What is out? Suppose the procedure is completed, it returns some value. After completion, it returns some value. So it simply the purpose is to pass the output. Out is used means we are providing, that is given back to the value. Okay, given back to the value. Remember, for example, inside the procedure, if you have one value is there, if we can change the value inside the procedure, and whatever we are doing that changes, that changed value is back to the calling procedure. If it does not pass the changed value, means no use. I specifically using this word. If the changed value means, originally in C, C++, Java, different ways of passing. Call by value, call by reference. If anybody know programming language, then you understand. For example, call by value. Here I am passing some value. In the procedure, you are doing some modification, but the modified value is not written back. That is the way of call by value. Call by reference in the sense, whatever the modifications you done, that modified values only passed. So in MySQL, by default, this is called by reference. Means whatever the modifications you done, that modified value are passed back. In ouch, the name specify that procedure consists of input argument and the procedure have output argument. Procedure have input argument, at the same time procedure have output argument. Now everyone clear with the syntax? Clear with the syntax. This is the way to create a procedure. Obviously, what is the next step? How to call the procedure. If procedure is defined without calling, there is no use. Once the procedure is defined without calling, there is no use of that procedure. Sir, how do call the procedure? Here previously written add of a comma b. Exactly. Here you are using the statement call followed by the procedure name. For example, call add of. Same. If you have any parameters, you are passing the parameters. Any parameters are there, you are passing the parameter. I think clear. This is the two steps you are doing. What are the steps? How to create a procedure? Once the procedure is created, how do we call the procedure? Now I will explain this one practically. First step. Okay, I think definition is clear to everyone. Yes, definition is clear to everyone. Now concentrate on example. First use, I think more we have some college database is there. Yes, college database. I will list out the tables. On which table? I think suppose select star from empty set. Okay, that is not useful. Select star from EMP. Ah, okay. Now this is fine. We have an employee table is available with 6 records. Employee table is available with 6 records. Now, so understand how I will type the procedure. Delimiter, delimiter, double ampersand. Okay, immediately it goes to again MySQL. Now create a procedure. Create procedure. First I will write down procedure without any parameters. Just for your understanding, I will write down without any parameter. What you will write, you can give any procedure name. Create procedure, for example, get underscore max salary, just whatever it is. So my procedure, you can give any name. For example, this is my procedure name. I think everyone clear. Create followed by procedure followed by name of the procedure, just to opening and closing it. I will explain one more example with parameters also. Simply press enter means one procedure is created, not completed, just a heading is created. The first step is begin, means starting of the procedure. Starting of the procedure. Here, suppose select star from EMP, where suppose some city is equal to Hyderabad, city is equal to HYD, city is equal to HYD. Press enter. One query is written. Understand my concept. The query is not at all executed. Why? That is the written. The query is written inside the begin. For example, update table or else delete. Whatever it is. Or first I will write only one query. You can do either update or delete or any operation. So your task is do one more query, right? So one more query. Anyway, I will write down one query. End ampersand. Okay, even you are not writing delimiter, no problem, automatically. Query okay, 0 rows affected. Now what happened? One procedure is created. Assume within from begin to end, I return some 3 queries. Your practice, begin to end, you return some 3 queries. Okay, assume the first query is select query. Next, for example, update employee set salary is equal to 50,000, where employee name is equal to Raju. Write down that query. Suppose delete from employee, where e name is equal to Raju. Like this, you are writing some 2 to 3 queries in the procedure. Now I am writing the statement call. Writing the statement call procedure, sorry, procedure name get underscore max salary, get underscore max salary, call get underscore max salary completed. One second, why it is not a get m CALLS. First the query, one second please. First the procedure is created successfully, and second one is I am calling the procedure. So my procedure name is max salary. Whenever I call the procedure, it need to return the answer. It need to return the answer. Hmm. Call get underscore max salary. That is fine. Okay. One second. I will do one more time. One second. I will do one more time. MySQL. Okay, MySQL is not open. Okay. Okay, I will explain theoretically, step by step. You have to practice. No problem. Right now, MySQL is not open, and I will return whatever the statements I written. I exactly I will do. One second. Everything is not okay. Now you need to write all these statements under your MySQL. Under your MySQL. So what is the first step I created? We have employee table is available. Employee table is available. What are the fields of employee table? Employee ID, employee name, salary, city. These are my fields. Okay, these are my fields. So first, how do create a procedure? Anyway, I will type like this. How do we create a procedure? First, to delimiter. After that, create procedure. Create procedure followed by the name of the procedure. For example, I given this is the name of the procedure. So no semicolon, no semicolon. This is the procedure. In the next step, so this is write any number of queries. Suppose here I will write down one query. Select star from employee where condition city is equal to Hyderabad semicolon. For example, update table employee. For example, set salary is equal to 50,000 where EID is equal to some 3. Like this, you are writing some queries. For example, I written 2 or 3 queries. End. So by return this end, automatically you are coming out, and then you will type, and you will type delimiter, delimiter semicolon. Like this, one procedure is created. Like this, one procedure is created. Once that procedure is created, now, the next step is calling the procedure. How do we call the procedure? By using the statement call followed by the name of the procedure. Get max salary. Now, once you enter, you are getting two outputs. The first one is select star. That means whenever I call this procedure, the queries written inside the procedures are executed. Here I have two queries. So here I am getting two outputs. First, the output is for this query. Second, the output is for this query. Now I got your point. Now you got to my point. For example, if these two queries are required again somewhere, no need to write the query again. Simply by writing this statement, automatically you are getting the answer. Automatically, then the query each and every time you think. But here, whenever you are calling, the operation is done to return the value. Okay, once this is executed, you are getting two outputs. One output is related to select, one output is related to update. Exactly, everyone do like this. Now, second example, Here I am creating a procedure by using with the parameter. I am creating a procedure with parameter. Parameter in the sense in. Think you remember in is used as the parameter. Again, delimiter. Anyway, I will write an each and every time because my SQL is not open. Maybe some problem. So delimiter create procedure. This is fixed. Create procedure. For example, get whatever it is, get city. Just to for understanding, I change the procedure name. So get city now with the parameter. How do you write? In. Remember, either upper or lower case, not a problem, but just for understanding, I written in upper case. Get city, one parameter in, followed by the name of the parameter. Assume the parameter name is some a. You can give any name. Assume the parameter name is a. Each and every parameter have some data type. Each and every parameter have some data type. For example, data type is integer. Employee ID. Then okay, integer like this. Okay. Here, if you are getting city means generally we are passing string, that is varchar. Like this, everyone remember this one. So in means you are taking one parameter, that is at the time of calling you must and should pass one parameter. Sir, my program have two parameter, no problem. Separate variable name followed by data type. Variable name followed by data type, no semicolon. Here, remove the comma. In my example, I have only remove the comma. Begin. Begin. Write down some query. Suppose my query is related to variable. Here I am getting some variable. So write down a query that uses that variable. Then only that is the use. For example, select star from employee. Select star from employee. Which one you are using? How to use? For example, yes, this one is preferable. Limit general, not only wherever you are seeing, generally this is the procedure. Limit a, I think you know that one, limit. So instead of displaying all the, for example, my employee tables consists of some 100 records. What is the value of a? Assume a value is equal to some 10. Now select followed by some number, that many number passed here. That number is passed here like this. If you want any other queries, write down all the queries. Not only queries you want, all these queries are created as a procedure. After that, same a double ampersand end delimiter. That is, the procedure is completed. The procedure is completed. What is the next step? Generally, whenever a procedure is there, next MySQL call the procedure. What is the name you are given? Get EID. Whatever the name you want, that is not a problem. Get EID of some view. I think observe. Think you observe that one. Get TID of 5. I passed one parameter that is of type integer. You call whenever you the control moves to this procedure in your database. This procedure is executed. Here in this, I am passing one value that is passed. Now, what is the output? Limit A. Only 5 records are displayed. Limit A. Only 5 records are displayed. Clear? In this way, you are using in. First one is without any parameters. I think everyone no doubt. Simply what I am doing, create the procedure. I am calling the procedure without any parameter. Second, with parameter means you must and should use in. While calling, you need to pass. Suppose separate with comma. While passing, you need to write. Passing, you need to write that too. Now, what is the next one? Next example is out. One is in is there. Next out means we are passing the value. That is, we are returning the value that call the function. Returning the value that call the function. Okay, now see this one. For example, delimiter ampersand create. You can write any procedure. For example, high salary name is your wish. For example, high salary here out. Out what you are going to return. Think you understand? Here you are going to return the highest salary. You are going to return highest salary. So assume my variable name is some max salary. The data type is float. Clear? Observe again, I will repeat. In the first one, in here what you are getting while calling a procedure, here you are getting one in. But in this case, what is the meaning? After executing this procedure, I am returning the maximum salary. I am returning one value, maximum salary. So begin. Here you will write down some query. For example, my query is like this: select max of salary from employee. Select max of salary from employee. The query is executed. Now, to understand the query properly, how do you change that one? Select max of salary into, that is, you are getting the maximum salary into, that is that maximum salary into the variable, whatever the variable you are taken, that variable from employee. Now everyone understand? So in the out means you need to return some value. So here according to my example, whatever you want you can return. Suppose according to my example, here I am trying to return the maximum salary. So that is the reason I created one variable, maximum salary. The data type is float. Here out in the sense we are going to return. If you want to return means you need to calculate, yes or no? So select by using the aggregate function. I calculated maximum salary. Here you are getting the maximum salary. That maximum salary is copied into my variable. Anyway, you are passing the variable. Whatever available in this one, that is passed to the calling procedure. Whoever called, that is passed. End. Delimiter. End. Delimiter. Clear? End delimiter. Now, what happened from this procedure? It returns the maximum salary. It returns maximum salary. Simply here coming to next one. Whenever you are calling the procedure, what is the procedure name I given? Salary. Whenever you are calling the procedure, what you need to write. Previously I written in means a, in means some I written a 5 value, the 5 is token. But here I don't know the highest salary. What you need to write? You got my point? Here compulsory one parameter is there. This is the parameter that takes the value. This is the parameter that takes the value. You got my point? Whenever we are calling this procedure, we are calling the procedure simply, the procedure simply tells we have an out parameter. The out parameter returns some value to the calling procedure. Now, whatever it returns, generally this must be passed to this variable. Generally, such type of variables are called session variables. So whatever the variable that takes the value from the calling, those are called session variables. Generally, they are represented by using at the rate, not only any symbol. So preferably we are using general m, at the rate m. Now, clear? Now, what is the statement? Again, I will write down the statement. Don't confuse. Once that procedure is completed, next to statement you need to write like this. Call the procedure name high salary within bracket at the right m. Now the m is the session variable. Now this m holds the value. Whatever the value written from the procedure, now m holds the value. That value is not displayed. It is available in m. How do we display the value? The last statement is select at the rate m. Simply execute the query. Select at the rate m. The output is displayed. The output is displayed. Now check everyone. Everyone, I think clear. Okay, understand? In the in means while calling we are passing anyway that is taken, but in the out whatever we are getting we need to store in a variable. Such variables are represented with at the rate variable. Now, the third one is in out. Everyone must and should practice minimum in no out. Anyway, third one is also important. What is the third one? The name specifies both in is there, out is there. So we used in out parameter. In out parameter. What happens? For example, simple example, I will return delimiter delimiter create procedure. So give any procedure, suppose display salary, whatever it is, display salary. Write down the variable in out, variable name, some data type. Here I written in out, variable name, some data type. Previously for the out we written out. Clear? Now within this procedure begin, anywhere write down one query. For example, select some salary into variable A. Select salary into variable A from employee. Suppose if you want, write down some condition where employee ID is equal to sum 2. What I did? Simply from the employee ID, employee table, whose employee ID to, I am getting the salary. Now that salary is copied into A. That salary is copied into A, end end is completed, delimiter close. Now the last step, call the procedure. Call the procedure. Whenever you are calling the procedure, you are getting some out. Now the question is, how do we call the procedure? Suppose, understand, if you call the procedure like this, call my method, my procedure name is this one, display underscore procedure. Now, what parameter? For example, here I given a value 5. Here I given a value 5. Now it is stored into 5. The salary is stored into 5. Is it valid one or invalid? The salary is not possible to store in a variable. The salary is possible to store in a variable, but here I written value 5. 5 is in a. Now salary is copied into 5. It is not possible. Now while using inu or out, no confusion. Suppose if you are using in out, you need to write like this. First, you need to execute like this: set at the rate some m is equal to some value. Set at the rate m is equal to some value. Call display of at the rate m, and then next step select at the rate m. The meaning is, first you are setting the value of the variable 5. You are setting the value of the variable 5. Okay, now that is copied, and that salary is copied. That is copied and operation is performed. It take value 5. Immediately this is in out means the value is also passed. If it is only in means taken, if it is only out means is produced. If you are using in out means, it will change from step to step. It will change. While calling it is in, while copying it is termed as out. It is termed as out. In this way we are creating in and out, or else in out, or else in out. Now everyone clear? First step, what we are completed. What is a procedure? How do we create a procedure without parameter, with only input parameter, or with output parameter, with input output? That is with in out, with in out. Now practice. Now, my next two question is, sir, I created multiple number of procedures. I forgot the name of the procedure, like show database, show tables like this. Here also, same show to display all the procedures that are already created in your table. Procedure show procedure. Okay, followed by status. Show procedure followed by status. This is fixed one. After this, so you want to display according to the database, or you want to, that is, display all own starting with this name only, or all the procedures that are available under this database. Whatever you want, you can check, or display only the procedures that satisfies the condition. For example, show procedure status where db is equal to college. This is the query I execute. Db up till now this is syntax is same. Show procedure status where db is equal to college. That means all the procedure with their status under the college database. For example, here instead of where database, you can write another thing also. Okay, instead of checking the college database, suppose where table is equal to college, you can check based on some condition. For example, like name is equal to for example p percentage p. That is, it display all the procedure names that starts with p, ends with p. Think you got it? Think you know that like keyword? Okay, this is creation of a procedure, displaying the procedures, And one more last point is, suppose that procedure is not at all required. Simply you are writing drop, delete the procedure, drop procedure followed by the name of the procedure. Drop procedure followed by the name of the procedure. Simply, if you are writing that one, the procedure is removed from your system. The procedure is removed from your system. This is the concept of procedures. Now, your task is, now I think you understand why procedures are needed. The multiple number of queries no need to execute. I create one procedure whenever I need the same set of queries. Simply by writing the call statement only, the procedures are executed. By single call statement, the procedures are executed. Think you got it? Now, creation with different types, that is without parameter, with in, with out, within output, how to display all the procedures, how do we delete the procedure. Generally, this procedure is also called as stored procedure. Stored procedure. Clear? Now, no, no, no. This is actually, if you know the any programming language, the procedure is the very, very, very easy topic. Simply it takes the input while calling the procedure. After performing, that is in. After performing the operation, it return the value. That is out. So in out means it takes the value and it returns the value. That is in out. Generally, in any programming language, this concept is the functions. Function calling with parameter, without parameter, two things are there. With parameter is comes under in, with return type is comes under out. This is available in programming language. If you have some basic idea related to programming, then this procedure concept is very, very simple. Okay. Now, any doubts? Okay, fine. Thank you.